Does it really matter to the rest of the country whether Mayor Eric Adams of New York survives his latest scandal? I would posit no. However, the corrupt bargain struck by him with the Trump Department of Justice, now that's something to worry about. And we have a new report, a new order that's about to come out based on a brief that a lawyer hired by a federal judge to advise that federal judge just submitted. And lo and behold, it was a right-wing Republican advisor to a Democratic judge. Guess what happened about the Eric Adams indictment? If you don't know, you'll find out on Legal AF, the podcast, the After Dark edition. Take a listen.
Popok, we are in the lightning round right now. I'm going to give you 2 topics, and we're going to try to nail it in about 6 minutes total. This is the Legal AF lightning round. The first one I want to talk about is what happened in New York with Eric Adams. You predicted it, Popok. Go.
Easy. It all ended the day that the judge decided to bring in a former right-wing Republican former Solicitor General and Paul Clement to help him out to decide whether there was a corrupt bargain between the Trump Department of Justice and Eric Adams, who had been indicted for fraud and campaign violations involving the Turkish government, whether there was a corrupt bargain or not, that they would only dismiss the indictment without prejudice in return for him playing ball on public policy. And we had 6 different prosecutors resign over it, including a very noisy resignation by Danielle Sassoon, who was the U.S. attorney, who said it's unethical, it's wrong, he should be indicted, he should never be dismissed. And Paul Clement wrote his brief. This is again back to your point of Democrats having to bend over backwards to seem impartial. There's plenty of Democrat solicitor generals. There's plenty of people like Michael Ludig that could have served in this role. Why Paul Clement, who was in charge of defending waterboarding and against reproductive rights for women and other gay marriage, why he was chosen by this democratically appointed a Judge Ho, I have no idea, but I said it was going to happen. So I read the 30 pages or whatever of the brief. The Clement recommends that the indictment not continue, but that it be dismissed with prejudice, completely ignoring and just gliding over all of the prosecutors who have yelled out corrupt, no, unethical. They said you shouldn't get involved yourself. You should use jurisprudential parsimony, and you shouldn't even listen to. There's debate. There's good people on both sides. Are there good people on both sides about the corrupt deal? So now you have this friend of the court that the judge has appointed telling him, go one better, dismiss the indictment with prejudice and get rid of it. But that's not good enough for the Trump administration, because Todd Blanche, the lawyer number 1 for Donald Trump, criminal defense lawyer number 1, and now the number 2 in the Department of Justice, often referred to as the bad cop in the Department of Justice, has now stepped forward. He got confirmed, and he's written to the judge and said, no, without prejudice. And we have the right. We're the prosecutors, because they want to keep what Paul Clement called the sword of Damocles over Eric Adams's head for as long as they can. By the way, side note, Eric Adams is never going to win the primary based on current polling. So this might be all for naught as we watch whether the governor is going to take him out of that role.
I think the governor realizes, and I could be wrong, to your point, he's going to lose in the primaries. The people of New York hate him, and it's just a matter of time. Why create, a martyr type of issue when you don't, a MAGA martyr? And, to the extent you want to find any silver lining in what Paul Clement did, I think it's hard to find one, but he recognized that the Trump administration was trying to do this kind of quid pro quo, hang it over, allow this to basically be used against Mayor Eric Adams, in the future, and say, if you don't do what I want. And this would actually just say, all right, you want to dismiss this case, Trump administration, then it's gone. I mean, you're the executive branch. You want to dismiss cases against criminals, but you can't now use it to enter into the deal. And then maybe Eric Adams feels, well, now I'm not beholden on the criminal side of things. And so if you want to find any silver lining, that's probably what Paul Clement would say to you in private, that it actually is a little bit of an FU to the Trump administration by saying, you shouldn't do this without cause. You shouldn't do this without prejudice. It should be with prejudice. And I called their bluff. And look, Todd Blanche and the DOJ immediately was like, no, we want to still keep it, which kind of shows the corrupt quid pro quo deal. That's how Clement will say it behind the scenes. But I think it goes to prove my other point, though, Michael Popok, is like, okay, you've got this judge who's appointed by the Democrats. And who does he pick? The George W. Bush Solicitor General to do the job. And, as I've always said before, it's like Democrats be Democrats. You think MAGA's going to appoint, AOC, to do things? You think MAGA's going to appoint Adam Schiff? Schiff used to be a great federal prosecutor. Of course not. I think
Ho was worried about getting impeached, to be honest with you.
Well, everyone's worried. Everyone's worried. I'm worried. And the bottom line is, who behind the scenes panics more than anybody when you call the guy's bluff? The idiot in the White House, as we see with other countries, Canada, Mexico, stand up to him. The guy backs down. It is a baffling concept that someone could blow the blah, 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 blah. And it shocks me that works. I don't understand it.
How about Hamas, you're dead? He just posted, Hamas, you're dead if you don't release the last 35.
Shalom, he goes. Shalom. Shalom, because he goes, Shalom, Hamas.
Oh
and he's, but by the way, Popok, I won't divert the episode. We'll finally talk about the DC bar stuff. But the Hamas stuff, look, Donald Trump made that threat January 7th. Release the hostages before I take office or I will unleash hell. Nothing happens. He does it on February 10th. Release the hostages or I will unleash hell. Then Saturday comes, February 15th. He goes, I'm going to let Netanyahu do what he wants. Then does nothing. Then he does it again. Then he does the same stuff with Greenland. I'm conquering you. Wait, I'm conquering you. Wait, I'm conquering you. Then he does the tariff thing. Governor Trudeau, you're the governor, 51st state. Fentanyl. All right, I'm imposing tariffs. Whoa. Doesn't impose tariffs. I'm doing it again. It's the same shtick. It's just the reality. He is a weak, pathetic reality TV person, and we are now all non-consensual participants in a dystopian reality TV show. And the guy's an idiot. He knows how to do the theater. I just want to live my life with my family and not wake up to the markets crashing and then, maybe we'll be out of it. What's going to happen on the next season? Just leave me the F alone.
Welcome back. We do an hour-long podcast twice a week called Legal AF, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Midas Touch Network, and then wherever you pick up audio podcasts from. We are, I like to brag a little bit. We are top 10 in the world because of you. On all types of podcasts. And that's a total reflection of what you bring as an audience that makes us so excited to do our job every day and every week. So pick up our podcast. If you know everything about us and you already saw that particular episode, send that clip off to people that you know are not part of our Legal AF family and community and ask them to join. Personal invitation from Popok to them. Because we're building this organically, word of mouth. That's all we got. No outside investors. We're fierce. We're fearless. We're independent, but you got to help. That's the way to help. And then you're now already over here on the Legal AF YouTube channel. This is our family. This is our community. Hit the subscribe button. We just went over 500,000 in less than 6 months. We're on our march to 1 million before our year birthday. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event, by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.